Acevedo's sole option is a waiting list for a deceased donor kidney.
You have a number?
The last time I checked it, it was about in the 30,000s, I believe.
30,000?
Yeah, that was like 2 years ago. And after that, I decided just to wait out and not look at the number again.
So is there nothing to be done?
We are losing nearly 10,000 people per year because they don't have a family member, they don't have a friend who can donate to them.
Well, consider Iran, which for 30 years has had the world's only legal market for kidneys. It grew out of necessity, says economist Mohammed Akbarpour, after the Iran-Iraq War.
Because of sanctions, assets were frozen, the country didn't have even dialysis.
So the government made a radical announcement.
If you donate your kidneys to your fellow citizens, the government is going to compensate you.
The equivalent of some $4,500 US, more than half a year's average household income in Iran. Today, recipients of live kidneys pay most of that cost at a literal market in downtown Tehran. The government pays for the actual operation. And for those who can't afford to buy from a living seller, whose kidneys have the best chance of success, cadaver kidneys are free and relatively plentiful. Akbarpour and others say the market has slashed the waiting time for a kidney down to around a year and completely eliminated the need to ask relatives or friends to donate one of theirs. Dialysis patient Zahra Hajikarimi was confident she'd be transplanted soon.
I can't imagine living without the possibility of a kidney donation, of having to suffer with this disease until the very last moment of your life.
So this is the solution, right? A free market for kidneys. But, and you knew this was coming, even in Iran, cash for kidneys is suspect. For one thing, most sellers are poor. Who else would run the risk of a major operation to remove a vital organ, even if you can live with just one kidney?
The reason I had to sell my kidney was that my life would have completely fallen apart if I didn't do that.
This Iranian would not agree to show his face on camera.
I would have lost my wife, my child, my life.
If I sell my kidney to feed my starving family, it's not actually a voluntary transaction.
Moreover, says transplant doctor Diflo,
people would have significant incentive to hide things.
How would you know if you're getting a good kidney?
I'm not sure how you could regulate it as well to make sure that the donor is being taken care of medically.
And there's at least one more problem with cash for kidneys, says Melanie Malillo,
Come here, Jen.
who was moved to become an altruistic donor as she watched her husband suffer with end-stage kidney disease.
If there were a market for kidneys, would you feel the same way?
I don't know.
Chances are she would not, says economist Akbarpour. Look at the history of paid blood donations in the U.S. and around the world.
Once they started paying money for blood donation, actually the donation went down. I mean, I was giving my donation for, moral reasons. Now you're paying me, it's not moral anymore.
Right. But he asks, with 100,000 Americans waiting for a kidney, why not give at least some small incentives to encourage donation?
Now in this country, if you donate a kidney, you cannot even get reimbursed for your travel.
Or lost wages. Even Dr. Diflo, who opposes legalization, says we ought to improve the economics somehow.
So things like universal health insurance for donors, paid at the government's expense, I think is a very reasonable thing to do.
With no other way of increasing the number of kidneys for transplant, the prognosis is grim for patients like Jairo Acevedo.
They say that for every year that you spend in this machine, you lose 5 years of your life expectancy. So if you were to live to 80 years old, if that is the number, your time clock, I have lost about 35 years of that.
How old are you now?
I am 39. Hopefully I'll be turning 40 in December.
Well, we're rooting for you.
Thank you. So am I.
For the PBS NewsHour, this is economics correspondent Paul Solman reporting from Westchester, New York.